I always start the trip with a prayer to God.
The abortion road, because when a pregnant woman, when you arrive Tabuk, it's abort.
One of my friends fell with his bus into the ravine. There were 9 deaths. Accidents are inevitable on so dangerous a road.
I belong to the mountain. We are from a mountain. We are a mountain people, so we have to love the mountain. Hey, come.
Mind out, rocks! I took care of the dead and brought them back to life. We'll win the jackpot. We'll find kilos of gold. The Headhunters Road, Kalinga in Filipino, is aptly named, even if the region's heads haven't been rolling for a long time. It's said the spirits of the mountains still have a taste for them when it comes to cutting the road. The machine's already there. Christopher and his men face the same struggle against the mountain every day. Their job is to remove the thousands of cubic meters of rocks blocking the road in record time.
Almost every night we need to remove the slide for the passenger to pass by. After this, maybe 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, the jeepney from Bontoc will arrive. So we need to pass this road.
Further down the valley lies the town of Bontoc. It is neither airport nor railway station, so the road is vital for its 15,000 inhabitants. If the Kalinga is blocked, the entire region is paralyzed. And even the bone snake charms are powerless. The only means of transport in town are these peculiar, customized tricycles. Hurry! For longer distances, a 4-wheel drive or a bus is needed. For passengers, it's a challenging journey. Bus 532, with 20 years of service, is about to leave for one of the most dangerous roads in the Philippines, the Kalinga on the island of Luzon. It relays Bontoc to the regional capital of Tabuk to the north through the Cordillera Mountains. A tough road, under construction for nearly a century, but which still resembles a track. It takes almost a day, if all goes well, to travel its 90 kilometers.
Yes, come.
Let's go, sir.
Let's go. Let's start going here.
Fernando, the driver's assistant, gives the signal to start. With his hand tapping the fuselage, it sets the pace for the maneuver. The buses are usually owned by the drivers themselves, so to maximize their return, they have no qualms about putting passengers on the roof. It's half price, since they'll be risking their lives on the journey. The passengers on the roof must remain alert to avoid being thrown off or electrocuted. Careful! Every time he takes on the mountain, Ed, the driver, turns for protection to his creator. I always start the trip with a prayer to God. He watches over us. This road is very difficult. But I started doing this job when I was small, so I'm not afraid. Terrible accidents have made this road infamous. Mudslides have swept buses into ravines, killing dozens. The rainy season has just begun, hardly reassuring the passengers. I'm afraid, especially when the stones fall. I'm very worried. This is my first trip on this road. It's really scary. But the travelers have a guardian angel to watch over them. Fernando, the assistant driver, scrutinizes the mountain, and at the first sign of movement, he stops the bus. I'm the conductor. I take care of the passengers' baggage, and I watch the road for large stones and remove them.
Yung kalsada para yung mga bato aalisin.
Not to lose time, a passenger lends him a hand. On the Kalinga, Fernando has plenty to do. The road's other dangers are the many ruts that cause the bus to shake non-stop, and that could lead to the bottom of the precipice.
Ay, delikado dahil
Careful, this part is tricky. It's moving this way. This time, bare hands are no longer enough. Being the guardian angel of the Kalinga route means working virtually like a slave and being paid a pittance. By chance that day, some workers come to their rescue. It's mainly men who do this stuff. I'm just watching. The Kalinga is ruthless with machines and men. And sometimes the mountain rumbles and demands its terrible toll. A year ago, one of my friends, a driver, went into the ravine with his bus. Yeah, there were 9 deaths and 50 people were injured. Accidents are inevitable on a road that's so dangerous. In 2006, the Philippine government undertook massive construction works to make the road safe. But each day, nature reasserts itself. Rockfalls and earth permanently cover the concrete road. With the government of President Arroyo, there have been changes. Before, the road was narrow, so now it's been enlarged. And it's even been properly surfaced in some places. A battle between machines and the mountain that has gone on for almost a century. Despite their best efforts, Christopher and his team failed to clear the road in time. The bus will remain stuck for hours. At the moment, it rains almost 6 hours a day. Water weakens the mountain and slows down the workers. The slightest mistake can lead to an accident.
If you don't know how to observe that mountain, maybe you will be, yes, that's very dangerous. He's trying to give way the mountain so that the eroding will already finish to go down. The sign is if the small rocks will falling down, that's the sign of eroding the big soil. Very noisy. Grog.
One of my colleagues was buried on the Sabangan side. He died. Mine, rocks.
We belong to the mountain. We are from a mountain. We are a mountain people, so we have to love the mountain. We have to protect. But sometimes when we introduce improvement, we will sacrifice the part of the mountain to be washed out.
Here, man tries to live in harmony with the mountain, with mutual respect, even in death. Some tribes will not even dig into its bowels to bury their dead. So they attach them to the side of the mountain, as high as possible and as close to paradise as they can reach. Before the eternal rest, the tired souls can take a break on these chairs. Oh, it's the driver's signal to leave.
Finish road for the passengers.
Okay, now we can continue.
Let's continue.
The city of Tinglayan is in sight. It marks the halfway stage of the journey. Before, people stayed in their own villages. Since the road was widened, travel to major cities has been made easier. But the bus does not go everywhere. Villages remain inaccessible. But some had the bright idea of creating a motorcycle taxi business. It had to have been pierced by a nail. If the hole is too big, we'll replace the tire. If it's small, we'll fix the inner tube. Watari is the head of the official Team Unity. Quick, quick, change the tire. Lookouts report the bus is on its way. Okay, put it down there.
Okay.
Okay, it's repaired. Come on, the bus will be here soon.
Okay.
After 45 miles and 5 hours, the bus finally arrives at Tinglayan. Some of the passengers are preparing for a new ordeal. Their village is another 12 kilometers away up in the mountains. To get there, their only choice is to take a motorcycle taxi. At their own risk, of course. Even more so since the bikes are vastly overloaded. Road bikes on dirt tracks equals 3/4 of an hour of anxiety for the passengers. Stones, cracks, ruts. At any moment, there could be an accident. And yet, without the motorbikes, it would be a 4-hour steep climb to their village. We help our fellow citizens and our families. The bike provides a good job. We can support our families. I'm very pleased with this job. Before I worked in the fields and it was much more painful. To begin with, we took bags of cement or rice, cartons of goods, and then over time we began to carry passengers. And as the number of motorcycles increased, we decided to organize an association. It works like this. If there are 10 people to be transported to Tinglayan, and there are 10 bikes available, it's one person per bike, not two. We're all equal. At least with girls, it works. Drivers are good lovers. These extreme bikers earn 8,000 pesos per month, about 200 euros, or more than twice the average wage in the Philippines. Christopher, the foreman from the work site along the road, lives in this village. Once a week, he goes home to see his wife and 3 children. He's brought along some scrap metal for his house. The fare is 400 pesos, about 10 euros, including the cost of transporting the goods.
It's just okay because if you get that goods to down from the highway, it is very hard and very difficult.
Christopher returns home with things to eat unobtainable in his remote village, such as pasta, spices, and coffee. The community produces most other things, such as meat and vegetables. 2 of his children have come to help.
This is my home.
But Christopher has a little problem.
So the case in my wife, she's in the farm harvesting the rice, the palay.
So you have no keys?
I have no case, so I have to eat first.
Small village or large city, when you're locked out, there's always one solution. Go knock at the neighbors.
We're going to get coffee here for us to cook because my wife is not she's not yet arrived. Leave Come.
850 people live in Bot Bot. Most residents grow rice. Like many villages in the Cordillera, the lack of roads means many locals remain isolated. Christopher is one of the few to have found a job down in the plains.
This is my dog. That's my pig.
He dreams one day there will be a good road so his kids can go to school and eventually university.
We believe that improving this road from the highway going to our barangay is the beginning of our progress for our children to make their life successful. Oh, she's my wife. She's arrived. Then the windows already open, so
In a corner of the main room, there's a
this is my
treasure.
motorbike that I want to show you.
Why?
My motorbike is this one. Early 2002. For the first time I have my motor, basag-basag na yung mga
Well, as you can see,
mga
almost everything is
saran niya,
broken
yung mga
here.
saran niya, basag-basag na.
Like this
Pangay,
mirror,
yung
the
mga,
tire is
paglalagyan ng
punctured.
tapaludo niya,
You see, I was a bit careless at the time.
Kasi
I didn't used to
hindi ko
brake
na siya
enough.
hinahawakan pagka-
And I was always scared of falling over and in danger, so I used to just jump off and fell over onto the rocks all the time.
Saan na.
Christopher's motorbike only survived a couple of weeks without being damaged. Not everyone is cut out to be a daredevil biker. Here, the only flat area is the village square. It serves as the training ground for the new motorcycle taxi recruits. Jeffrey, who used to be a farmer, has been trying to master a motorcycle wearing flip-flops, but no helmet. Watari, the trainer, doesn't seem worried.
Dami kong tinuruan na ko ang mga kasama ko.
I've trained a lot of people here.
Saka yung mga
When
iba,
someone buys a motorcycle, he
kung may
comes to us
kumuha ng motor,
and we train them.
tuturuan namin ganun. Kung gusto nyo magpaturo.
In the Philippines, you don't need a license for a motorcycle, so everyone does pretty much as they please.
Sabi ko kay Jeffrey, mabiya siya.
What do I think about Jeffrey's driving?
Siya sa tindahan.
I think now he can finally make the trip, so long as he doesn't take passengers.
Walang sakay.
Taka kay Matua.
Ko na daa.
Taka kay Matua.
Watari, the instructor, believes balance can be learned only one way, on the mountain roads. Okay, so we'll try this climb, but be careful, mind, it's one of the most dangerous. Go in first gear, but light on the pedal, not too much gas, okay? Try it. Hey, and mind my bike, it's fragile. My livelihood. Look carefully in front of you and keep your balance. Stop, or you'll lock the wheel. Jeffrey's smile is a little uptight. He knows that the descent will be much riskier. This part is particularly difficult and dangerous because the descent is really steep and it's a very bumpy road. There are plenty of holes here. So I've told Jeffrey to find the balance between first gear and using the brake. But he has to be careful. Without his helmet, it's very dangerous. So, are you ready? I'm ready, but just for one passenger. Better watch out anyway. Here's a bend. In the valley, the bus continues its route. They've been on the road for more than 6 hours and are still a long way from Tabuk, their final destination. Ed, the driver, is very disappointed. The bus is now half empty. They won't be making much money this time. No, everything's fine, apart from not enough passengers. If he doesn't make a profit, he won't be able to pay either himself or Fernando, his assistant. Some people don't give us the right amount. Yeah, which is fine. They'll make up the difference the next time, when they make the return journey. They say they'll pay the next trip. So, and sometimes we don't have enough money to pay for gas because there aren't enough people. Sweat instead of salary. Each trip is the same anguish. There they are, the mountains of Tabuk. Tabuk is right there, behind those mountains. After 8 instead of 6 hours, the bus finally is back on an asphalt road. It's the end of a long, eventful journey. For Ed the driver and Fernando, it's now the moment of truth. It's a good job, but sometimes there's very little money in it. And it's hard to be very motivated. Anyway, this is a good season for us right now. September to December is when we work well. But this time, well, we didn't earn much. Just enough to pay for the gas. In fact, it's a bad day, having lost 600 pesos or 15 euros. They'll leave again tomorrow in the hope of having more passengers. Tabuk is crowded today. Ed the driver suggests going to the town's exit if we want to see a strange character. There's a healer in Tabuk. Many people come from Manila just to see him. He touches the affected part of the body with a little water, and then the person is cured. Under a makeshift tent, hundreds of people listen religiously to this man. He's revered as a saint. His name is Santino. In this deeply Catholic country, people come from far and wide for his powers to heal.
We came from far places, 230 kilometers. So my husband, the first time he was here with that severe stiff neck and with that tungkod, we have that, what do you call that? The stick, that it will help my husband to walk.
It's always the same ritual. Before receiving the miraculous treatment, men and women are separated. The men must take off their shirts. Assistants then hand out free cups filled with water from an astonishing spring. This is the first step, the purification of the inner body. The number of people varies. The average is 5,000 per day. But the most people I have blessed in a single day is 32,000. The second step is the mystical shower. Santino sprinkles generous amounts of his holy water on each of the faithful to alleviate their pains. He says he's had the gift since he was a child.
According to my mother,
when I was a kid, I used to get sick all the time. I even became blind. Yes, totally blind. And totally deaf too. And then after that, I started to heal myself.
I start now healing.
I don't know how I came by this gift from God. Only God knows. There are many journalists who come to film me without asking my permission. But they can't take pictures of me because their tapes won't record. With the miraculous spring water, Santino, the demigod, says he can help even the most desperate cases. Under the main tent, entire families are waiting. The healer is their last hope.
It's my turn.
Come on.
As proof of his power, before our cameras, he takes a hopeless case. The woman has been unable to walk without crutches for a long time, virtually confined to her wheelchair. A phony or miracle worker, nothing seems to stop Santino.
And you see, there are many miracles.
I've even helped the dead. They brought me someone who had been dead for 6 hours. No, 12 hours. And I brought him back to life. The secret of life is just behind him. The miraculous water comes, in fact, straight from the city's pipes. The voices told me once to stop the distribution of water because people tend to misunderstand such things. They began to believe that the water had cured them and not their faith in God. I have therefore suspended blessings for 2 months. Get up and walk. With this simple phrase and some well-placed miracles, Santino's business is making great strides. All of which infuriates Rolando, the local priest. Most people who come to see him are not cured. Maybe out of every 100 people, there might sometimes be one person who he's helped. The majority never get better. I even know of 2 people who, after they saw Santino, actually got worse and died. The pastor is heading to the Banao gold mine. To get there, it needs a jeepney and a four-wheel drive bus. It's a 3-hour journey in cramped conditions. That can be very tiring, and you soon have sore legs or kidneys because the jeepney's constant motion up and down, side by side. And with lots of passengers, it's packed. It's really tight in there. The jeepney is manufactured in the Philippines. It's tough and can go almost anywhere. But even the jeepney has its limits. During one climb, there's an ominous cloud of black smoke billowing out of the exhaust pipe.
Doing some mechanics because the pin is destroyed.
Apparently it's nothing serious, but they are stuck. At the rear of the vehicle, they have the tools for big breakdowns, but not for this one. Fortunately for them, there's a house a few hundred meters away. Oddly, the driver is convinced he'll find what he needs there. Which, it appears, was simply a rusty nail.
Okay. Ode.
After 4 hours, the jeepney finally arrives at the entrance to the gold mine. They call this place the Golden Gate. It's the obligatory passage for anyone who dreams of riches. In this Filipino Wild West, the rules are strict. No one can set foot in the mine without the approval of the marshals. And before that, all luggage is thoroughly searched. I check baggage to make sure there's no alcohol or weapons. These are the items that are prohibited in the mines. Weapons, drugs, alcohol.
Our foremost objective.
Our main objective is to ensure the safety of the miners. Under the influence of certain things, people might forget about their own safety. The trail enters into the forest, and to reach the El Dorado will take another 4 hours on foot. The property belongs to different tribes who together manage several veins of gold. A total of 30 shafts, which are more or less profitable. There may be up to 1,500 men at work. Ramos owns one of the most profitable mines. And for a few grams of gold, he's ready to gamble with his life. The biggest mistake you can do with dynamite? Drop it into the fire.
This is 246. 10 shot. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Go to break the stone. Okay, let's go.
One can see now why the guards confiscated bottles of alcohol at the entrance to the mine. Wooden carts, no helmets, a flashlight, and no safety rules. According to the miners, there are few accidents. It takes more than 10 minutes to reach the bottom of the mine.
Your head. You take one.
This drill is as close to modern as anything you'll find here.
We drill the rock so that then we prepare to put the dynamite.
Let's give where Richard is that portion there.
Amos intrepidly cuts each stick of dynamite to multiply its strength. Once the fuse is lit, they have only 30 seconds to find somewhere to shelter.
Very strong. Very good. We'll see.
Even hunkered down in this corner, everyone feels the force of the shock waves. The miners had planned to see whether they'd struck it rich straight away, but they hadn't planned on so much dust. They need to exit quickly.
We'll see. It's hard to make a tunnel. We wait because of the smoke of the dynamite. It's very dangerous if you inhale it. That's why we wait 4 hours so that the smoke will come out.
A little further down, workers at a nearby mine rinse the rock with clean water.
You see how strong am I?
In fact, the water isn't that clean since the miners use mercury to extract the gold dust from the rocks. It possesses the ability to attach itself to gold, but it's a highly dangerous pollutant.
Mercury has been here for around 20 years already. So we are worried about it. What we only do is prevent children to come, pregnant woman. Never mind us, we'll just die.
Royce has worked here for 15 years and is an old-timer. Environmental issues here take a back seat. Gold, he says, provides a form of stability to the region.
Solve part of the insurgency problem. Because most of the people in Balbalan, their problem was to get money. So planting marijuana was prevented, and this ideological problem was solved. So there is peace and order because of this.
A small wooden house provides the source of good or bad news, as this is where the miners come to sell their gold.
My money is only 3,135.
60 euros for 3 grams of gold is the average earning for most miners. Back in Hamos's mine, there is still smoke, even after 4 hours. The miners are out of luck. The dynamite didn't blow up all the rock. It means more digging. But there's a mysterious force that helps them.
We have a secret power. Our secret power is if you get tired, we have a reserve power. You use our Kili power. You know?
What is
know
it?
Kili power?
No, what is it?
Kili power is the reserve of our body. It's very strong. That's why if you have no Kili power, you cannot break this using this one. So you use this one. Nuggets, they call nuggets.
After an hour of hard work, the verdict.
Will kingdom. Oh my God. It's nice. This is our guide. Because the stone make it, this is what they call quartz. Quartz and pyrites. There's a little pyrites. This is our guide, and we expect that after 1 meter maybe it become, there's a little gold. After a month, we win the jackpot and get the kilos of gold. No?
So let's go.
Get the kilos of gold and go to the central bank and sell it and buy some of our needs, especially whiskey, to remove dust in our
At the mine, men tell of the gold fever that can make some people crazy.
That's gold. It's pyrite.
In the Filipino Far West, one has to be patient in order to get rich. Royce, the eldest miner, is 62 and remains optimistic. He has his own mine right next to his house.
Open the tunnel, thinking that I will find the gold inside after 10 meters. But up to now, we have 120 meters inside and there's no gold. Everybody want to get rich. It's a common thinking of the people, so I'm with that idea. But if I will not hit gold, never mind, the children will be the one to hit them. My tunnel is for them, for my children, for my niece, and the next generation to come.
Preserving the mountain and its treasures is Royce's mission, and that of all the elders of the region. But for the next generations to be able to enjoy its vast resources long into the future, the arrival of foreign investors eyeing the treasures buried in the Kalingas Mountains needs to be discouraged.